You're listening to Safety Corner, powered by TCL and S1. For workers, by workers. Online and in-person health and safety programs and training available in 10 plus languages. Reach out to them at www.mys1.ca and DM them at my_S1 for more information.
Bon dia, Manny.
Snowy morning.
Probably survived the snowmageddon.
I'm driving in thinking to myself, it's Canada. This ain't my first snow. We've had worse, you know.
Way worse.
The shoveling on the mountain was only about 4 feet. You know, the heavy breathing and the slowness of my pace was a little slower than normal.
I'm surprised your car is so low, man. I'm surprised you managed to get it out of the driveway.
It came. There's some perks to having a car with certain features in it.
Yeah.
I did see a lot of Hondas and Toyotas stuck on the side of the road.
Not my Toyota.
No, not yours.
No, not my
What's
Toyota.
What's the FJ stand for in this weather?
For this I'm not sure, man, but it did its job. Gas guzzling 4x4.
I wouldn't say it's gas guzzling. Six-cylinder?
Bro, no, that thing drinks like crazy.
What's the size of the tank? 100 or 90?
It's a V4, I think.
It's a V, really?
Yeah. It might be a V6. I might be wrong. I'm not really a car guy. But one thing I know for sure, that thing
doesn't get stuck.
Doesn't get stuck. Knock on wood. I still got to drive home.
So, yeah, but all you got to do is avoid the people that are stuck in ditches and avoid the people who are not paying attention and they start seeing the car. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm never worried about me. I'm always worried about them.
Yeah, hey, it is what it is, man.
What are we talking about today, man?
Today on tap, we have part 1 and part 2. So we're splitting this one up into 2 podcasts.
A double header.
Yeah, a double header.
What are we talking about?
Part 1, AI.
Artificial intelligence in construction and safety.
Yeah, and how it really applies and how it applies to workers and how employers are using it and what are the pros, what are the cons, stuff like that.
So we got a lot to talk about. Part 2, just
part
a hint,
2 is
I guess.
Robotics. Robots.
In construction, manufacturing, anything?
In the workforce, in factories and services, where they're coming, where they're going to be displacing workers, who's most likely to be displaced. So we're going to cover some of that.
It's all coming, man.
You know, there's some people that will theorize that everything that's happened in the last 5-6 years is all designed purposefully to knock out the middle class and the workforce and then easily replace them with robots and AI.
What's the solution for knocking them out? What are these people going to be doing then?
That's a good question.
Building the robots? Maintaining the robots?
I don't know, man. It's we're not there yet.
Will we be there in our lifetime?
Yeah, well, yeah.
So before we go,
the prediction is 2030. That's right now the current prediction.
Mainstream robotics and AI in construction?
Well, not just construction. We're talking about the entire workforce and which jobs are going to get displaced. But let's jump into it. Let's go through it slide by slide. And before we even jump into this, do you want to get it out of the way? Any politics, any updates on the recent telenovelas, all the things that are happening?
There's a lot of interesting going on down south. And I get tired. I get really tired of people talking about Buy Canadian. I actually got called a traitor last week or this week. That's the first time in my life that I got called a traitor.
Why?
All I did was I left a comment on Daniel Foch's Instagram feed. He's a mortgage broker, mortgage analyst.
Okay.
He talks a lot about, our economy, housing starts, and all this other stuff. And his information is bang on good. They have their own podcast. They've been on the show before.
Nice.
The Canadian Real Estate Podcast. Nice guys, super nice guys. And I left a comment because he was talking about how Trump obviously is going to start imposing a 100% tariff on vehicles made in Canada, shipped to the U.S. So everyone started ranting about how this is stupid. We need to support Canada. We need to start buying back Canada, all this other crap, right? And I just said, here's a suggestion. And I don't feel that Trump is the bad guy in this situation. I think everybody in our Canadian parliament are the bad guys.
100%.
And I just said, why don't we actually look at... why don't we look at calling an election and bringing in somebody who's going to pay attention to our needs and focus on our interests? And then I guarantee you that the moment that happens, Trump will drop all these tariffs.
I don't know about guaranteed, but one thing's
they
for
will
sure.
Disappear.
People don't like, or on the world stage, we definitely have lost a lot of credibility with the people running.
But that's been 10 years.
Oh yeah, it's been a while. Again, birds of the same feather flock together, right?
So there's a few comments there on the actual posters. There was probably about 30 likes supporting my comment.
I know.
But then some guy DMs me, like, you know how you get those requests?
Sure.
And he started off by, you're a traitor. Your
Yeah,
page sucks. All this rant,
Man,
and I'm like,
it's- you know how it
lock
goes on.
and delete and goodbye.
You know how it
Because
goes
this is
on
crap that
social
you would never
media.
say to my face. So then you want to say it on a social media. You're never gonna like get me. So I thought that was entertaining.
There's
and
a
I'm
lot
like,
of telephone tough guys and keyboard warriors, but
listen, what happened to everybody not supporting? How come we're all that Canadian love 5 years ago?
no. Hey, listen, man. I hope Canadians bring the same energy that they did to these tariffs. I hope they bring that same energy April 1st. You know, it's nice to talk
Nobody's
about.
talking about that either.
No. It's okay. When it gets
20%.
there, support Canadian. Go ahead. It's crazy, man.
It's like a marketing ploy.
You know who I know is all these strategists and PR people for all these politicians and stuff like that. These guys are geniuses.
They're good at what they do.
My theory on all of this, the shoe is about to drop on the whole entire Canadian economy, the Ontario economy. They
Yeah.
can't hide the unemployment numbers for too long.
Yeah.
Manufacturing is down. Construction is almost decimated. I think that the only way that they can save themselves is call an early election, make Trump look like the bad guy, and blame the bad guy for all the things that are happening. It's genius. These PR people are amazing.
Unfortunately, I think what the Liberals are doing is that they're actually designing this to get Canadians to forget the last 10 years.
Oh no.
That's what they're trying to do,
No,
try to
sure,
get
but listen,
some sort
the
of...
same people that are complaining about the tariffs were the same people that were on TikTok and Instagram pouring out bottles of vodka Russian. I'm Russia.
Oh, I remember that.
Remember that?
I didn't pour out any of mine.
The same people that I poured it right into my glass.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's the same people. And listen, the reality is nobody likes paying taxes. Nobody likes to go to economic wars or any physical wars or anything like that. But this is a new world, and the rules of the jungle are coming back, and the countries need to start drawing up the lines and figuring out where they stand. Otherwise, they're going to get steamrolled, and that's the bottom line.
Down south, all he's doing is he's taking care of his own backyard.
Yeah.
And I think every country should be taking care of their own
Yeah,
backyard.
yeah.
And our country has not been taking care of our own backyard for 10
We
years.
we sold out our backyard a long
That's
time
what I
ago.
mean. So it's like, why aren't Canadians paying attention to this? But unfortunately, I'm having conversations with people where they are talking about if Carney gets in, they will consider voting Liberal. And I'm like, I don't understand how you people don't see this.
They don't follow it. They don't understand. It's just they're based on emotion, man. Oh, this guy, he sounds great. But
Back to AI. And
Yeah,
you know
let's-
what? I think AI politicians will probably do a better job than the current.
Manny, a bag of pucks would do a better job than the current politicians. A bag of pucks. But anyways,
Okay, where do you want to begin?
let's get into it. So today we are talking about AI, robotics, and different construction processes, how it's evolving, what's happening to the workforce, how is it applying to the workforce, how are employers using AI. There's a lot of crazy things happening,
Is
man.
someone working on an AI robot safety inspector?
There's no need to.
But you still have to have some human workforce at some capacity.
I think the ultimate goal is to remove all these workers.
Everybody.
Yeah. And there's going to be various ways they're going to do it, and we're going to cover it.
Wow. Okay.
Right? So let's talk about AI. The part one today is strictly AI. And everyone knows artificial intelligence and ChatGPT and all of these
Yeah.
things. And we joke about it and you know, it's all AI. But, you know, first, I'm a bit of a science nerd.
Okay.
You know, I've watched all my Star Wars, all my Star Trek, and no, you haven't watched any of these?
No, I've seen all that shit. I haven't
No.
seen all the Star Trek. I'm
I've-
a Star Wars more than a Star Trek.
I may have won, you know, a science
Trek or you a
competition.
Wars?
Both. I've enjoyed
Really?
all of Yeah, man.
No, I can't. I can never get into Trek.
Oh, no.
Too much of a utopia. It's not realistic.
I know, but it's optimistic, right? It's something that you would like to see for the future.
Me
but
personally, I don't know why the N word was never uttered at a Klingon.
it became the K word, man.
I don't know. Yeah, the K word, right? Being in space there, right?
Oh man. So let's get into this. You know, people that have followed me, our Instagram page or watched our couple episodes, I'm not a big fan of AI. I'm not a, you know, like
Why?
I don't trust it. I don't trust it because it's not
room
a
for
tool.
error?
It's not about error. There's room for misuse, and humans have a natural ability of when we create something, we don't use it for good. We use it for weapons and military application and stuff like that. And the majority of our greatest inventions have come from the military.
The
Yeah.
drill, my first thought is
Saran wrap,
the cordless
snowmobiles.
drill was designed for NASA.
WD-40 You name it.
Everything all came from military applications,
super soakers,
exploratory,
yeah,
and then it gets filtered into consumers.
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, let's sell this. Even ChatGPT, you think what they're showing us is what they have? No, they're giving us the crumbs. Here, play with this while we are designing some crazy shit, right?
Let's learn more about you humans.
Yeah, like that's
you guys
what
are
it
sharing
is.
a lot.
Hey,
we all know you buy a new TV. It's not about a TV anymore. It's about a data collection system.
Of course, we are the product. We are the product, and all of these systems, all they're doing is sucking data out of us.
But isn't that a good thing though in AI and construction? Because then that way the machinery can actually be as efficient as possible without anybody being injured, and productivity goes forward, and then you're more profitable as a company. Isn't that a good thing?
Yeah, but I think there's some.
And I've eliminated people throughout that whole thing.
Yeah, no, there's some people that will say, yes, let's eliminate all the workers, replace them with robots and AI and whatever, and la-di-di, la-di-da. Life goes on. That's great, but what happens to all those workers?
That's the question. Well, Elon said that one time.
Right. Well,
the biggest problem in the future is going to be mass unemployment.
Right. And what they're predicting or proposing is just universal income for everybody.
To do what?
You sit at home.
To do what?
Live in your box.
Human beings are designed to create, are designed to communicate.
There was a cartoon, man.
Looney Tunes or what?
Wally?
Wally. Yeah, that's
Wally?
exactly what it is.
Where everyone's on
Everybody
the spaceship.
go
They're
beast, I
all,
know.
yeah, everyone's fat. The computers do everything for them, and then all of a sudden,
exactly what it's becoming.
Yeah, I think that's the utopian future that some of these corporations and some of these big companies and groups, that's what they're aiming for. That's what I suspect. And that's the worst case scenario. Best case scenario, there's some level of integration and we manage to find balance with all of it. But I highly doubt it.
Where are we? We're past creation. We're already into integration.
Let's watch this video. And because people are like, oh, Philip, AI is a tool and it's amazing. Look what I can do. Okay. I found this video on the internet. And basically it's different individuals or this individual speaking about the dangers of AI.
I know the dude. Yeah. Okay.
What everybody should understand about AI is not a tool. It is an agent. It is the first technology in history that can make decisions by itself, that can create new ideas by itself, and therefore can take power away from us. An atom bomb ultimately empowered human beings because it was the bomb could not decide anything and could not create new bombs. But AI can do that. Let me tell you just one small story about what the new generation of AI can do. When OpenAI developed GPT-4, they wanted to test what this thing can do. So they gave it a test to solve CAPTCHA puzzles. CAPTCHA puzzles are these visual puzzles you get when you try to access a website.
Yeah, they're annoying.
The website wants to know if you're a human or a robot. And block the robots. Now, GPT-4 could not solve by itself the CAPTCHA puzzle. What it did, it accessed an online web page where you can hire humans to do jobs for you, TaskRabbit, and it asked a human worker, please solve the CAPTCHA puzzle for me. Now, this is the interesting point. The human got suspicious. It asked GPT-4, why do we need somebody to do this for you? What, are you a robot? And then GPT-4 told the human, no, I'm not a robot. I have a vision impairment, so I can't see the CAPTCHA puzzles. This is why I need help. And the human was duped and did it for it. So it is already able not just to invent things, it's also able to manipulate people.
Oh boy. Well, I'll just say that example strikes me as terrifying.
It's pretty scary.
I think so. When you start having, a computer brain, I guess, that's able to manipulate and provide false information and lie, essentially, right? Like, how do you trust this thing? I think it's a bit of a Pandora's box. That's what I think it is.
So how do you don't let that happen?
I don't know. I have no clue, man. It's just, that's where my level of mistrust comes from, right? It's, I don't know. It's crazy.
It's like they're removing the emotional aspect of any decision making.
Well, if the computer does everything for you, You know, like even in learning outcomes, you know, is it better to learn the math formulas before you learn how to use the calculator?
Okay, so I want to kind of bring it back to construction, where there's no way there's ever going to be a construction site that is going to be all robotic.
That's what we're thinking.
That's impossible.
It's not.
There's no way that you can do that.
Why not?
I don't know. I don't know yet, but you're telling me that material coming in and work being performed is all done on a conveyor belt, like it's literally just machined?
I think that between AI, robotics, and the switching or modifying of construction processes, it's very easy to eliminate workers. And we got some videos. So let's keep going here.
Yeah.
Wow,
It's actually scary.
You're going to have to wait for some of those questions to be answered in part 2 of our podcast
that's
here.
fine.
But let's move along. So what is AI doing right now, or how are employers using AI? So employers are monitoring employee productivity.
Now, is it small businesses and big corporations that are doing this right now, or is it just big corporations?
I think it's coming down to whoever can afford the software or the AI and put it together.
I'm assuming big corporations are the ones that are starting it.
Definitely. They
It's gonna get
usually
filtered right
lead the
down to
charge,
small.
right?
Yeah, okay.
So, like, what are they doing? They're monitoring employees. They're tracking production.
Really?
Oh, yeah. They're using it to gather production metrics.
Timescapes, the company that I know, does that right now. They time-lapse photography, video shoot job sites.
Mm-hmm.
This is an interesting company out of Australia that's here in Canada. So they'll give you a time-lapse video of your job being performed. We all seen this. We're always in awe. The structure is growing. They're not recording it for that purpose. They're recording it to see how efficient the cranes are and the material being loaded into each floor.
Sure. Production.
So then they can determine, if you actually do this instead of what you're currently doing, you can be 20% more efficient and finish that floor faster.
I think that's what it all comes down to, is greed, production, and
100%.
figuring out the best way you can create these products. Whether it's construction, or whether it's at an Amazon warehouse, or whether it's at a manufacturing plant that builds cars, you know, that's what the key is. What happens if we can reduce our cost of labor? What happens if we can pump these products out? The only thing that I'm really not fully capturing or grasping is, if they replace all these workers and workers are all on universal income, how are we going to afford to buy all these products?
Only a certain segment of the population will be buying these products.
Right, but you're still, as an employer that's producing, you know, you're still reducing your
I think the construction industry needs to pay attention to the automotive industry.
The automotive industry at this rate by 2030 will gone.
No people at all.
Zero.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So if they can figure out an assembly line of a product, large scale products, then that's coming to construction, guaranteed.
Listen, we got some more videos, and robots are just one part of this equation.
But it all starts with the AI information.
AI is the brain,
Yeah.
right? So AI is gathering all this data.
So what are they doing? They're videotaping workers doing their work to find
watch
out
it.
who's lazy?
Watch. They know.
They're tagging every single person?
How many seconds they're at a desk, how many seconds they've left
They
the
come
desk.
over and chat with somebody else. And
Yeah.
then-
And away we go. That's what it is. You've been at your desk for this much. And listen, there's already a ton of employee monitoring tools with this whole work from home
So here's
stuff.
a scenario. I had a job site. The client started turning on me. He decided to put cameras on the side. All the workers had problems with it. They didn't like cameras being on site to see everybody.
Surveillance is
I
a
know, and
funny
I get it. Legally speaking, it's their dwelling, their property. You're working on their site. But what happened was the worker said, I'm not coming in. I'm not working. Get rid of the cameras.
Yeah. But meanwhile, you know, we're being surveilled. Our own phones, you know.
Oh, I know. It's all, I know. It's there.
We
I
are
can only
definitely,
imagine.
in entire human history, we are definitely the most surveilled and monitored group of humans ever in history.
Unless there's some corruption going on, then just things magically happen and cameras go down.
Yeah, well, listen, sure.
We all know what we're talking about here.
You know,
So this is interesting. So with it, now, what, an AI is going to take this information and they're going to go, employee number, whatever, is only working 2 hours of the day.
listen, it's gathering the information. It's up to the employer now what they want to do with it, right? But they are definitely measuring these metrics All of them. Every single metric that they possibly can, they're measuring.
Is it grounds for termination?
I don't know. This is uncharted territory, man. You know, there's some lawyers that will throw some opinions in it, but are there laws? Like, what's the data privacy and the rights of the workers being heavily surveilled, monitored?
You're being compensated by a corporation, by an employer. It's their job, their computers. We all know when you're being walked.
Well, yeah,
right.
I get it. So if you want to work in this place, you have to be okay with being heavily monitored, heavily surveilled. And not only that, the employer, I guess, can still tell you what to inject into your body.
That's a different story.
Where is the frontier? Like, where's the line? Where are we drawing it?
Another reason why I don't want to be in an office.
No, never.
Okay, all right.
Right? So where is the line?
Production metrics, machine learning, data privacy rights.
And you know what's the crazy thing, Manny? Out of all this, do you know who I think is the last line of defense or the backstop to all of this? It's unions.
That's where I was going with the automotive. Because
unions.
they're one of the biggest unions ever. You start replacing all those workers. What does the union do now?
The union's done. The
unions go bankrupt.
Well, who are they protecting if it's all robots?
Until you start protecting robots?
I don't know.
You don't protect robots.
I'm ready to smash a few. Right? But the unions are the backstop to this. The unions can control, I guess, or can fight back.
But that's delaying the process.
Yeah.
They have no winning fight there.
Look at Amazon. So did you see what happened to Amazon in Quebec?
No.
So they had a bunch of warehouses there. The workers got unionized. And we all know that Amazon has a large percentage of robots. I think it was 700,000 robots that these guys have. And they were having issues with the union and fights and labor and da-da-da. And Amazon, you said, you know what? It's too many problems for us. We're pulling out. And they pulled out. And the
no union, no nothing.
Fuck, there's no employer. Right? The employer said, no, we're not dealing with all this shit. We can go anywhere we want. And they picked up and left.
Amazon's got to be maybe 70, 80% fully automated.
I don't know about that percentage, but there's definitely a large
But delivering
percentage.
the products, though.
No, that they have workers driving the trucks and stuff. But if they could, you think they wouldn't have all automatic trucks and drones and drop off packages? And
you got Google driving around and mapping everything. So why can't Amazon be doing that and then go to your street and drop off the package?
Honestly, I think it's just a matter of time. Right? It's just a matter of time. When
truck shows up on the road and a big conveyor belt just goes right to your front door and you just drop off the package. That's it. Done.
It could be something as simple as that.
That's scary. Okay, holy cow, man.
So
normally you bring in people getting injured and killed, and now this is even scary.
This is what we're talking about is the displacement of large swaths of workers.
They're putting their names now. What's this? Anna, she had 20 cups of coffee.
This is the video that we're going to see right now. This is a coffee shop. Okay. They are measuring not only the productivity of all the workers, but they are also measuring the time and the purchases of all the clients. Okay, so every metric, any person that is moving, performing, sitting, work, whatever it is, everybody is being captured. And
do you see this on a job site coming from the union or coming from the actual corporation that owns the development?
I see. We're going to get a little bit more into this.
Here's worker A, B, C, whatever, and
I think the white collar are the first ones to take the beating here. White collar industries, right? Offices.
Yes.
That's the first
cubicle
line.
people.
Yes.
Yes.
White collar is we'll get into it. But white collar is going to be the first. The last front line is going to be blue collar. But depending on the industry, because blue collar in manufacturing is going to take the hits first before, I think ultimately the last group of people is going to be construction. We're in the back of that line because thank God we use our heads. Right? But everybody else that just uses their brain, which is not, you need your brain and your heads, but white collar is not looking good, man.
I would love to see this technology being applied to public servants.
I would love to see all this technology thrown in the garbage.
I would love to see it on public servants.
Oh, like Doge? Yeah.
If you're a public, like right now, before off mic, we were talking and I had an interesting show where the public servant at the building department in a certain city didn't know what a W8, they assumed it was a WB on a drawing for a steel beam.
Okay.
Anybody in construction knows that it's not a letter after the first W. It's a measurement number that's dictating the width of the height. That's all it's connected to it, right?
Okay.
But the building person that worked for the city couldn't find the WB in the code book. And he had to explain. Got to the point where it's like, I'm talking about the number that's between 9 and 7. That's the number we're looking for. 8. Till they finally realized that it was an 8 and not a B.
So human error.
Yeah, so I'm just
But
like public servant analyzing.
At least you can have a conversation with a human in terms of
Can you in building departments?
Well,
That's what I'm saying is that they're not very productive to begin with, and we all know that if you get rid of that half that workforce, you'll still get the same amount of production coming out.
Listen, I'd rather speak with a human than speak with AI and try to solve a problem.
Too, but hitting number 1 these days, you still don't get English, right? It's just that's reality.
Languages is another
So you're going to
challenge.
talk to a robot now?
Well, haven't you heard like AI calling you and doing?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
You know, hi, you want your duct cleaning? It's not even a person from overseas anymore. Now it's just an AI calling you. It's. Listen,
So on the good side of this is as a business owner, you can try to figure out how to be more efficient, which turns into more profit.
sure, or you can find out who
As
your
long as
weakest.
you don't cross the line about.
What's the line, though, man?
That's the
Where's
thing.
the line?
It's
Look,
easy to
Olga only
cross.
did 3 cups today and sold 20 cups. You know what,
What's
Olga, you're
going on
getting
with
fired.
Olga? I know.
What's going on with Olga? Look, right? So you,
There's a map too.
Yeah,
like
it
it tracks your movements. I'll take
but
that.
ultimately, yeah, that's what they're doing, right? That's what AI is doing, and
I can see big construction using this because a lot of guys. What's the saying? Hide and seek or whatever. Like when union guys or guys on high rise, they'll just hide all day long and not do any work.
oh,
You know, there's a term for it. I can't remember what
I
it
don't
was.
know. Listen,
But you can't hide, man. But how do you track them? Facial?
I don't know.
You log in to make sure that you're on the job site, so you're facially recognized, and now you're on the job site, and other cameras
Manny,
recognize
I don't
you?
even like power windows in my truck. Okay, let alone any of this stuff. I think, and even talking about construction and AI and employee monitoring, let's take some of these safety systems that are out there, okay, such as S1, but not S1, the other ones. All of them are tracking these workers. They know when the app got turned on. They know where the worker is. They have a GPS location of exactly when this was inputted. They have it all.
Are they doing it primarily for safety or primarily for the data collection?
the data collection?
To see if that worker is being a worker.
Of course.
Benefiting the company.
Of course, they can track this form was completed at this time, and this is and some of that is important for safety. Where were you and stuff like that? Sure, but it's just take an inch, take another inch.
It's really
take another
easy
inch.
to be abused.
Sure, you might as well just slap a big QR code on the back of your safety vest and can do your job. So let the cameras track everywhere you are.
That might be coming too. You might as well put it on the safety vest.
Listen, one thing's for sure. The more you poison the well between the relationship between the worker and the employer, the more issues you're going to have.
Has the union
Voice concerns about data and privacy and employee monitoring? I don't know.
have they publicly expressed
Not that
that?
I've heard of. Not that I have.
Because you're 100%. I'd say like in less than 30 years, the unions are dead.
Well, I wouldn't even say 30 years. I wouldn't even say 30
You
years.
got a high-rise project. You need a certain amount of workers. You automate these workers now. Robotics, AI.
Well, the robots don't need a union.
I mean, that's what I mean. The unions are dead.
Well, listen, one thing's for sure. With the displacement of workers, where are these workers going to go? Maybe the unions can pivot. Who knows? Right?
Pivot to where? Like to what?
I don't know. This is, like I said, this is all uncharted territory. And people are running and jumping into this like it's the greatest thing on earth. And I have no
Businesses
idea.
are though, eh?
Well, they're
It's the
selling.
executives that are supporting this because it's profit.
I know, but there's a balance here. And with everybody just running into it, you're going to throw the whole thing off balance. You know, I don't know. Listen,
I agree with you, man. There's like way too much room for error here. Like way too much people taking advantage of situations. Okay, so what is this?
So part of what employers are doing is monitoring employees, determining productivity, and ultimately what's going to happen is the replacing of jobs with AI. So the widespread adoption, these some articles that we took and just some, people's, I guess, estimates or predictions of which jobs are going to go first. Right? So
Okay.
the widespread adoption of artificial intelligence has promised to create new jobs and make workers more productive. Bullshit. calling bullshit on that
I
right there.
agree with you.
But these changes have come with a cost. A 2023 resume builder survey found that 37% of companies using AI replaced workers with the technology, and 44% anticipated AI-induced layoffs in 2024. Right? Think of the banking sector. Look at Bell. They just fired 1,200 people.
They have to feed the C-suites. But yeah, bank branches are going to... I'm surprised that bank branches are still around.
Hey, listen, I like interacting with a human. But futuristic shows and stuff like that.
You don't need that.
No, it's a computer screen you get there, and it's
I'm
an
still
AI
surprised
teller.
that real estate hasn't been completely removed.
It'll get there.
Agents, I mean, completely removed.
It'll just come. So jobs AI will replace. And again, this is based on their estimate, and I don't even think this is ever
This is based off of what, 23, 24 now? That's what we're talking about?
2023, yeah. This is when this article came out.
Customer service representative, 100%.
All right? I just order everything on Amazon. I don't need a customer service.
I hate the fact that you cannot speak to a human being, that it always has to be a live chat, probably with a bot.
Of course. Probably with AI.
You can never, I find
We don't
that-
even know who's on the other end
It's
of
funny.
that.
Customer service representative is being eliminated, and they're not replacing it with a customer service provider. It's not.
Listen, again, AI is just taking an inch, another inch,
Car and
another
truck
inch.
driver. Yeah, because we all know Elon's bringing on autonomous vehicles.
Yeah, but
Shipping.
those are electric, and whether or not we
But there's no
support
driver.
electric.
There's no driver.
Yeah, yeah, but again,
But I also saw Kenilworth, is it, or whatever? Kenworth. They have one.
AI will eventually get into the driving world, right, with self-driving autonomous vehicles. But again, look at the military. You have drones and AI controlling drones, and you have airplanes that have no pilot, and you have...
So do we need a human inside of a crane?
I don't know.
Crane up?
If you don't need one inside of a fighter jet, which is definitely a more highly...
Why would you need one in a crane? They don't have to sit there the whole time, pee in a bottle.
You just tag your load and the crane does everything? I don't know. Hoisting and rigging, who's going to strap it up? I'm not sure.
Wow.
Computer programmer? That's going to be
AI.
outside. AI, can you just design me this, and this? Boom, there it is.
Research, yeah, legal, the whole legal.
I don't know. Someone still has to go to the court and defend you. But
Do they? They learned all their lessons during the pandemic, where everything was online, and now you're just going to be talking to computer-generated imagery of people.
I don't know, man. Having your legal status or whether or not you're going to be charged in the hands of a computer.
Start finding your island, man. Start buying some islands, and that's it. Make your own
Buying
government.
some islands.
Yeah,
Oh,
buy
yeah.
an island, man, and go and make your own government.
What else do we have?
warehouse
Factory
worker.
world. That one's a given.
Financial trader,
Yeah.
travel, yeah.
Travel, like
Everything's online now.
When was the last time you've seen a travel
I
agent?
don't talk to an agent. It's all online now.
Right? Content writer, yeah. Can you write me?
Trader, yeah, sure. We all chat GPT. It's
I
all-
don't.
You don't use it?
I've never even turned it on.
Really?
I refuse to.
I use it.
For what?
It speeds things up for me when you got a lot of things in the fire.
It helps.
It helps.
Yeah. But again, I don't trust it. You know, and even in
You
my
gotta read it,
profession,
make sure that is,
but you got to double check it, right? If I have to double check,
I
I
don't want
just
to
write
see
it
him
myself.
sneaking in there going, man, he's a dick. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, I didn't pre-read
Listen,
it, proofread it.
One of my on my team the other day, we were working on a project, and they created a PowerPoint slideshow that we're going to end up using just to verify, and then using to stick into our system
Okay.
for our clients. But we like creating the PowerPoint so we can all review it and stuff like that. That being said, I'm reading through it, and I'm like, hold on a sec, this doesn't make sense. Hold on a sec, this applies to the States. This doesn't apply to here. Where the fuck does this information come from? And I go talk to him, like, hey, did you chat GPT this shit? He's like, well, yeah, a couple spots here. I just threw it in chat GPT. I go, bro, don't ever use chat GPT again. Don't. If you don't know the information, come talk to me. We'll find it. We'll look it up. We'll get a book. We'll go through the regs. And we'll take, I know, I just trying to clean it up, just trying to speed up this process and convenience. And I wasn't giving him a hard time. And we don't use ChatGPT for much, if anything, in my team. I don't. But I picked it out right away.
You read it and you saw.
I figured it out right away. But what's going to happen when other safety professionals that don't have that much knowledge ask ChatGPT to do something and are like, okay, well, ChatGPT says it's correct, so it must be correct. It boggles my mind.
No, that's why you always have to proofread it, right? That's the
Well, even
problem with it
proofreading
still,
it.
right? I know, I get it.
So what jobs will AI replace in 2025? And keep on going. Customer service and support centers.
That's the biggest one right now.
I think so.
Healthcare?
Yeah. So AI is changing healthcare by automating tasks that once required human oversight. Right? So think about technicians and people that got to review data and people that have to take data and input data and control all the health records. And it's all those peripheral jobs. We're not talking about the nurse and the doctor. We're talking about all the peripheral jobs that come around, detecting cancer.
Yeah.
You'd have someone there staring at x-rays. Just throw the x-ray into the chat GPT, let the AI find the cancer.
They can assess it.
Right? How long has AI been around?
I don't know.
A couple of years?
Probably longer, I think.
Well, for the public.
Yeah. It's mainstream, I'd say 2-3 years.
Besides convenience and creating videos and creating pictures and duplicating people's homework or creating homework, has it solved any problems? Has it solved homelessness? Has it solved wars? No, it hasn't solved anything. Has it been used to create? No.
Is it making big money for big corporations?
Well, I'm sure it is somewhere.
Well, listen, Facebook is all about data.
Everything's all about data. We are the product, Manny.
Yeah.
We are the product.
Insurance makes me a little nervous because now you're dealing with an industry that, first of all, has no human element to it.
Zero.
But yet
care.
it oversights humans.
Yep. That would be a
That's
horrible
scary.
fight. Yeah.
Finance, GameStop, I think of.
Finance, GameStop.
Well, investments and shit like that. We all know the elites have been manipulating the
stock market? Oh yeah, the whole entire stock market is like the algorithm at the casino. Man.
Why can't AI exactly manipulate that, right?
Sure it can.
It could pretend that something's going on
In
and
some of
actually
these
short
worst
stock.
sci-fi movies and stuff, AI takes control of this, creates a calamity, and they use AI to, make money off the stock market because the plane. There's all kinds of crazy things, man.
But then it brings up the point that you brought up earlier about manufacturing. Is like, who's going to be buying all these products that all these robots are going to be making? Because universal income, you can't afford any of these products.
No. So what's our current unemployment rate in Ontario?
I have no idea.
The official number
It's not realistic to what is going on.
It's something like 7.1% or
Okay.
something like that. And our system, I guess, can withstand up to an X percentage of unemployment. Ontario as an economy can take 10% unemployment or 11%. I think our unemployment during COVID went up to 14%.
They have a threshold?
Of course, before the system breaks. How much can you carry before you can't carry it all?
And we haven't crossed that?
I don't think so. Not yet. But what happens if unemployment hits 20%? What happens if unemployment hits 30%? Right? And all we're talking about is another, we're at 7%. So another 13% unemployment. We're at 20%. Can the system handle 20% unemployment? And if it can, for how long?
What's the fastest growing job right now?
I don't know.
I'm wondering.
Whoever's
Not
building robots,
construction.
whoever's building robots and whoever's building AI, I guess.
Well, the thing, you got a lot of immigrants coming to this country and everyone's looking for jobs and everybody's like, you can't all be drivers and customer service people. Like, so what is the fastest growing? Is it just all entrepreneur? Everyone trying to figure out their own wheelhouse?
I think right now unemployment is going up and up in every sector.
Yeah, I think that 25 is going to get worse, and I don't see 26 being good.
Listen,
Sorry, it's the truth.
So what else we got here? We have retail and e-commerce, education.
Retail's dead. They're all going to turn into condos. I've been saying that for years. Everyone's
shopping
going to
mall
be.
just
Yeah,
turns
shopping
into-
malls
why
are
do you
dead.
gotta-
They're dead. I'm sorry, but they're dead, right? They're
Well,
not.
hey, listen, shopping malls are still an important social component of society. You know what I mean? Like,
But the rent and what it costs to maintain a bricks and mortar store selling a product compared to doing that online, it's dead. It's honestly, and that land is a lot more valuable. And we're seeing it right now with major malls, Yorkdale, Sherway.
yeah,
They're all around there. They're building these condos. But what I don't understand about that plan is they're building the condos with that epicenter of the retail.
and retail's dying.
It's going to die. It's going to disappear. So then what happens when all those condos are
They
there?
don't care, man. They just build them
It
and
looks
sell
like
them.
Judge Dredd. That's all it's going to be. Mega City.
That was a crazy movie, man.
The second one, not the Stallone one.
No, you
All
don't like the Stallone one?
I hate the Stallone one.
Ugh.
Where's the law? No, I didn't like that one at all.
All right, so this is from Stats Ken. Okay, this is
What am I
from
looking at here?
We are looking at potential artificial intelligence, occupational exposure, and complementarity in Canada. Meaning, which jobs are going to get replaced And who has the highest chance of getting their jobs replaced? At the bottom of that list is anybody that has high school diplomas. Okay, they have the least amount of chance. The ones that have the highest chance are workers that have bachelor degrees and post-secondary education.
I've known that for years, man.
Here we
There's
go.
no value whatsoever
Here you go.
in the six figures that you've. There's no value in it.
Hey, six figures is six figures. But
Six figures student debt is what I'm talking about.
Oh.
Not six figure occupation. No. Like, there's no, we've all known this for 20 years now.
Yeah.
The value is not there.
see, low exposure, firefighters,
Firefighter.
plumbers, carpenters, right?
I believe that.
High exposure, family physicians, crazy. Secondary school teachers, electrical engineers, economists, computer network technicians, data entry clerks. I don't know, man. And it's closer to the middle. So food and beverage services. There's
Low
and
exposure for them.
I guess so. I don't know. This is StatsCan. This is government. So
Welders and, I mean, see, I don't understand that, man. A robot could weld.
again, it's just switching the processes, right?
That's
and
scary.
then potential artificial intelligence, occupational exposure, and complementarity across education levels in Canada. So,
Too many big words for so early in the morning.
Right?
Holy cow. Wow. All right,
but
high school.
bottom line, the people that have the less chance of being replaced by artificial intelligence. Again, this was from May 2021.
A lot has changed in four.
A lot has changed. But that being said, apprenticeship or trade certificate or diploma, they have the least amount of chance. Okay? And then it gets into graduate degrees, bachelor degrees, college, high school or less. So technically, the higher the diploma that you have, the higher the chance of you getting replaced by AI. How you like them apples?
I agree with it. I 100% agree with it.
Right.
So then you got to wonder, where are all these people going to go? Are they going to go into the lowest chance?
They can't put them in construction,
Because they're being replaced.
right?
Unions
And
are dead and they're being replaced.
Construction is the backstop, right? Construction
Wow.
is the backstop to most people's career choices, unless they put construction first, right? People come to this country, okay, listen, I'm going to go work construction. It's usually the first option, depending where you're from, again, too. Let's watch this video because this one is freaky, man.
South Korea.
For every 10 workers in manufacturing, there's one robot on the job? That's right. This small but mighty country leads the world in robot density with a staggering 1,012 robots per 10,000.
1 to 10?
The terminology here is robot density.
Holy cow.
manufacturing employees. But here's the real question. How did South Korea, a country about the size of Indiana, become the global leader in industrial automation? And what does that mean for the rest of us as automation spreads? First off, let's talk about what robot density actually means. Think of it as a measure of how many robots are used per worker in a specific industry, usually manufacturing. Globally, the average is around 162 robots per 10,000 employees.
162 is the average.
In the last 7 years. That's a big leap. But South Korea blows everyone else out of the water with its 1,012 robots per 10,000 employees.
10%.
For comparison, the U.S. has about 295 robots per 10,000.
Those are the actual robots?
No, this is all
This is all
staged.
AI?
Yeah, no, it's all bullshit.
Entirely. But why South Korea? Two main industries.
This is real.
drive dominance: electronics and automotive manufacturing.
Yeah, see, this is what I mean, man. Unions are dead. The United, what is it? United Auto Workers Union?
Incredibly good at
That's dead, man.
assembling the microchips.
Well, they're the ones that are fighting the most against this behind the scenes, right? With
They have
policies
to.
and stuff. Sure they do.
Because you can't collect dues from that orange arm individual.
competitive globally, and you've got the perfect recipe for automation. Now, this isn't just a South Korean phenomenon. Globally, countries are racing.
Let's pause this for a second. Where's Canada? So the average,
It's not even going to be there. It's like,
it's right there, Canada, 225. We are above average.
wow.
But look at South Korea, 1,012. China, 470.
Singapore? Yeah. well,
Singapore's in second
pretty-
with 770.
Just don't chew gum there. Why is China so behind?
Oh,
Well,
no.
they have, well, first of all.
They're catching up quick time. They're going to be number one within the next
But
year.
what is China going to do with the 1.5 billion people that they have?
Listen,
You replace them with robots, what are they going to do?
the morbid thing here, and looking this as you know, sitting on the top of the 1% and looking down at the entire world population, I can understand when they talk about depopulation,
You know who's not there?
Don't say his name. Don't say his name, man.
No. Portugal's not there.
No, of course
Portugal's not there.
Thank God.
I'm just saying, Portugal's not there. Italy's there. Spain's there.
Yeah.
Singapore, for instance, is in second place with 770 robots per 10,000 employees. China has made massive strides too, jumping into third place with 470 robots. In fact, China's robot density has doubled in just 4 years. That's not just growth, it's a sprint to the future.
You gotta wonder, it's gonna increase a
This
lot
isn't just
more
about
in the
making
next 4
factories
years.
more efficient. It's about solving real-world problems. In countries like South Korea and Japan, where the workforce is aging rapidly,
Okay.
Right? So you have a wave coming. And it's coming in stages, I guess, in terms of AI and the implementation of AI into our everyday lives and into our businesses and into our monitoring and tracking and how the society is run and how politicians and policies are created. And right, like in the United States, they're already banning AI from China. They're going to start weaponizing AI and saying that's bad and you can't use this AI and you can't use that AI. And it's going to be nuts, man. Like, honestly, when I talk about my children, the only future that I can see for them is the ones that build and maintain these robots. I'm not joking, man.
That's gonna be the biggest employment opportunity for people.
Right? Because AI is going to be able to program them, build them, and pump them out the door.
AI will do every job that most humans don't want to do.
Right?
Garbage, sanitation, clean house, maintenance, lawns.
Again, but
all robots.
We can't think linear, man. All they have to do is change the process. Well, AI and robots can't take over construction because I need to use my hands. And in part 2 of this, we'll cover the robots and how they're being implemented. But okay, no problem. We'll just build a house in a factory and pump it out the door for 3/4 of the price and with no labor.
And still sell it for the full price.
Oh yeah, sure. We're still going to keep our profit margin.
AI is about profit margin.
Right? How can you afford a house if we're all unemployed on universal income? I have no
You think
idea.
you're going to need insurance on robots and AI?
Listen,
There's already cybersecurity insurance. A lot of people are being sold
I don't know,
out.
man. I don't know. We're talking about some crazy, crazy shit.
That's interesting. I'm just saying, if a robot gets hurt, robot costs money, robot damages itself or another robot or a machine, something, then the employer is probably going to have insurance on that robot. Then you have to
Sure,
bring
I guess so. It
another
becomes-
robot to assess the robot that got damaged in there. Now you got WSIB for that robot. And then all of a sudden there's a whole investigation. MOL robots come in. It's the Ministry of Labor for bots.
One thing's for sure. With AI and robotics on where they at right now,
They're moving fast.
it's moving fast. We're progressing towards the edge of the cliff. And once we go off the edge of that cliff, there's no turning back. And the future is going to have to I guess we're going to have to adapt. But the crazy thing is that humans are the ones that are pushing this. We're pushing our displacement.
Nobody wants to do the jobs that they originally think these robots are all going to be doing. All this AI is going to be doing for them. The phone, has it made your life better? The smartphone?
I'm not a big fan of it.
I'd rather get to a flip phone.
I've said that on the show. I want to go back to a flip phone.
I know.
Right? So I feel like there's going to be certain groups that embraced all this technology and say it's the greatest shit since sliced bread. And there's going to be people that are just fully, totally against all of it. I'd rather be at my farm, taking care of my chickens.
That's what I'm saying. Buy the island. Start governing yourself.
I don't know,
That's
man.
the future, but
Anyways, this is part 1 of AI and how it's applying to the workforce. Wait till you see part 2, man. The robots that they got are crazy.
for construction specifically, or
It's
just
construction,
in
it makes no difference. Manny, think space, think military. Those are the places where they're designing these robots for.
Listen, I'll always support space. I'll not necessarily always support military, because I'm of the mind, whoever wants to start a war, you should be the first one on the front lines.
Sure.
And I mean the politicians.
But if the war comes to us, you better gear up, Manny. You better be beside me in that trench,
take
man.
a fight with Canada?
I don't know. But in 20 years from now, we might be fighting Skynet. Don't be like that, Manny. You better be beside me, man. I'm going to be there with my slingshot.
I'll be there with my friggin'. What's the best thing for stainless steel robots to keep them polished? Is it barkeepers?
Oh, you're talking to the wrong guy, man. Stainless steel polish. What cream do you use for your oven, Manny? Get out of here. Anyways,
That's
let me
what we look good.
Yeah,
That's it. That's good. All
yeah,
right.
we're good.
All right, cool. All right, man, we're out of here. You're listening to Safety Corner, powered by TCL and S1. For workers, by workers. Online and in-person health and safety programs and training available in 10 plus languages. Reach out to them at www.mys1.ca and DM them at my_S1 for more information.